Hello Capricorn, welcome to Dove and Serpent Tarot. My name is Paul. If Capricorn is your sun, moon, or rising sign, this is your tarot card reading. Remember to hit the like button, leave a comment, consider subscribing to the channel, especially if this reading resonates with you. If there is anything you would like me to pray over or meditate upon or send positive energy toward, please let me know. Now, this is going to be a general reading for August 2024. Try to be open and receptive to whatever may come through during our time together. I am merely the messenger. And I ask you to connect directly with each of these cards and use your own intuition to take you beyond the details that I might provide. And remember, Capricorn, that the most important part of any tarot reading is you. And we start with a Prince of Swords. This is double air energy. Sometimes this is a fixed air energy. In other words, this might be a thought that you are holding on to. This might be a mantra that you are not letting go of, okay? That you're employing to bring about some sort of change in your life, okay? It goes back to very, very basic sort of magical practices. The more, and really it's psychological, the more you say something to yourself, the more you believe it. And the more you believe it, the more it's going to come through in your choices and your actions and your behaviors, and it will manifest. You are the thoughts that you keep, right? Just as we kind of are the company that we keep as well. So I feel as if you're very fixed on something. There's something that keeps recurring to you. There's some sort of thought that you're dwelling on. Maybe it's a belief. Okay? Maybe it's an idea. Maybe it's an opinion. Maybe it's an issue. Maybe it's, I don't know. But it's something that just keeps repeating itself. Okay? It might be that we keep telling ourselves, I'm okay, I'm okay, I'm okay. I can do this, I can do this, I can do this. Maybe this is you trying to convince yourself that something is better than it is. Maybe. Let's see what we've got. This is very committed, really. Sometimes these thoughts happen, these repeating thoughts happen without our intention. No, we've got the Eight of Pentacles here. I think the work for you this month, the challenge, is to really ask yourself if this repeating thought, if this belief that you have, this is, again, that thing that you keep thinking about that just won't go away. It doesn't have to be an exact phrase, you know what I mean? The general idea here, the belief or the thought that keeps coming back. Let's figure out if this is something that is healthy for you or not. Is this something that is leading you to grow in the ways you want to grow? Is this leading to good choices, good behaviors, and positive development and progress, or is it not? Okay. This is very much a card now with the 8, because it's an 8 too. It's the figure 8, right? Which is also the lemniscate, the symbol of eternity, things looping back in on themselves. It's kind of a rhythmic thing. The chanting, the repeating thoughts, the mantra that we use, right? To bring about some sort of change in our life. I feel like this is happening in your life right now, and I feel that these two cards together are strong confirmation of that. My soundproofing is about to fall from the ceiling. I hope it doesn't hit the table. There it goes. Didn't hit the table, thankfully. This is the idea that the thoughts that we hold on to, those thoughts that keep repeating, are manifesting as behaviors, as reality. It's kind of, you ever see that video on YouTube where those people that they did an experiment, they set up a lot of plants, and then they would talk to the different plants in a certain way. They'd repeat the same things to these plants, either positive words or negative words or angry words or whatever, and the plants would grow in a particular way depending on how you'd speak to them. Well, this is kind of like that, you know? These are the things we say to ourselves that really do influence. The thoughts we have in our head determine what our body is like, what our life is like, what our actions are like. Okay? We don't want to underestimate the power of thinking, right? We say the power of positive thinking, sure, but we have to be able to gauge, is this positive? And of course, the number 8 is the number of Mercury, right? The number of the thoughts. I mean, it is the thinking apparatus itself. It's all about the mind here and how the mind is influencing matter. Okay? 5 of Swords. 5 of Swords is not always positive thinking. In fact, very rarely is it positive thinking, right? This is kind of it's a negative internal dialogue. Okay, let's do a Language of Flowers affirmation card. Let's get a positive affirmation in here before we get too far along in this reading. The Camellia, peace, be calm, and calm will come. The 5 is very agitated mental energy. It's very stressful mental energy, right? It could be a lot of different thoughts, but kind of racing, and all really kind of feel the same way, right? And it feels like it is sort of a criticism of self. It feels like it's kind of some self-doubt, some criticism, maybe even a little bit more than that, right? And you're somebody, I think, who's very aware of this, right? You know that your thoughts can influence you. And you also know that it works the other way around. The things that are happening outside obviously influence our thoughts, right? But we try to get a control over our thinking apparatus, but sometimes we can't. You know, it's not easy to control our thoughts. That's kind of what the mystics have been doing for thousands upon thousands of years, is trying to control the monkey mind, right? Because the monkey mind, again, gets into that loop, that lemniscate. It just keeps circling back around and around and around. Okay? Can we find out what this is stemming from? Well, there's a 9 of Pentacles. The 9 of Pentacles in your past position, this might be, if we take it as going 9, 8, right? We could be looking at this 9 of Pentacles as some previous success that you've had in your life. You know, maybe this was last year. Maybe this was your business, you know, was going really well last year. Maybe this was, you had that good job, right? Maybe this was, life was abundant. There was all, you know, I had more than I needed, right? Maybe it's not so much like that right now. Maybe there's been a bit of a downturn. Again, kind of 9 to 8. Maybe there's been the decline. Okay. Maybe this is us not as successful as we were before. Last week, last year, whatever, 10 years ago, I don't know. But this is perhaps the card of your feeling like a productive person, feeling like you're out here living a life and you're getting things done. Now we've got that 8. The 8 is kind of a card that's not so much about action, but about maybe recovery, restoration. Yeah. So it maybe it's this idea that you had this good job, but you maybe were laid off. Maybe this was the very kind of active and productive life. Maybe there's been an injury or an illness, right? And maybe you're in the middle of that. Working on recovering, right? Working on getting back to your optimal condition, you know? I feel like you're somebody who's very much, you pride yourself on what you can physically do. Yeah. And, you know, sometimes we can't always do that. Sometimes there's an interruption in our physical vitality and our robustness, right? We get sick, we get injured. We have slumps, we have bad days, right? Our human condition is kind of seasonal, you know? Just as businesses can be seasonal and our moods can be kind of fluctuating. And it feels to me like we're not feeling as productive or as useful as we once did. And maybe there's that injury or illness that's leading you to these kind of thoughts and criticisms of, related kind of themes. Now, of course, we've got the Eight of Cups. Eight of Cups, Eight of Pentacles. It's definitely not the Nine. The Nine is, again, it's sort of this, we're living high on the hog here. We're living lavish. We're out here doing a lot of things. We had a busy life, a very productive time. This was when, I don't know, maybe in the springtime or fall, depending on where you live. That was really the season where we were out there living life. We were involved in a lot of things. We felt like we were making a lot of progress. Maybe your life was progressing in a very fast kind of pace here. Now there's been sort of a slowdown. And of course, the Eight of Pentacles and the Eight of Cups, very closely related. The thoughts and the feelings sort of loop around each other. Again, it kind of brings us back to the figure 8 or the lemniscate, right? It's a feedback loop, right? The more we have these thoughts, the more our reality sort of begins to take that similar shape. And then, of course, our feelings, our heart, our emotions start to take a similar shape. And this is now the Eight of Cups feels like the cups are draining of their hope, of their pleasure, right? Of their satisfaction or fulfillment. It's leaking out, This is the feeling, not that we're getting better, but we're getting worse. Okay. And maybe the Nine, to contrast, maybe this was the idea that we're getting better. Physically, financially, right? Whatever. And this now feels as if we're not. Okay. And of course, it's the feedback loop because it all feeds together, up and down. We're up and down. We're skating up and down this path here. The more we think about it, the more we feel negatively about it, and the more negative it becomes. And what we really need is to shift our thoughts, shift our focus toward health and growth and well-being. All right? And the Five of Pentacles. The Five of Pentacles is not bad at all. I actually like the Five of Pentacles in this position because now there is the connection, of course, with the Mercury energy. Okay, this is Mercury in Taurus here. This is understanding the thought process, understanding that mental apparatus really kind of determines reality. What you think, you will manifest. Okay, and this is the card of change. It's not necessarily the abundance of the Nine of Pentacles, but at least we're not stuck in the loop of the Eight, that we are making significant changes. We're changing the way we think about things. Then, who said that? Wayne Dyer, right? Change the way you look at things, the things you look at change. Change the way you think about things, and the things you think about will change, right? To borrow from Mr. Dyer. And that really is this card. Yeah, we could be experiencing change in the world and we can feel anxious about it. That's the usual interpretation of this is worry. I see things are a-changing out here and it's making me a little nervous, right? But conversely, we can say, well, I'm willing this positive change. I'm thinking the positive changes. I'm repeating that mantra to myself, and lo and behold, I can see the universe starting to take shape in that way. Okay? So every card has light and shadow, and I think this card right now for you has a lot of light. Okay? A lot of light. Let's select the mystery card, bonus card, confirmation card. This is a random card from the Smith-Waite Tarot. This is the factor, infinite, and unknown. We're going to set it over here with Tiny Bob Ross. Happy little Bob. I know everybody was waiting for Bob Ross to come back. He made his way back through the cycle. Everybody's in line over here, and everybody gets their turn. So now it's Bob's turn. And we're not going to look at that card until the end. But it will tie everything together and give us the confirmation that we need. If you have a prediction, put it in the comments. If you haven't subscribed to the channel, put it in the comments. I mean, subscribe to the channel. It really supports the channel. I appreciate it. And it doesn't cost anything. So, thank you. General energy now. Path. I was trying to make a little joke. Lighten the mood a little bit. General energy now. Ooh, Eon card. Very nice. This is a significant shift of your consciousness. This is a decision, though, right? Because if you're locked up in this Eight of Cups, and this is really that, this is, I hate to say it. I'm sorry that the reading's going the way it's going, but this is really emotional. This is really the feeling as if there's no hope. The feeling as if things are getting worse and worse and worse. Okay? The decision that we have to make is to completely change that. To start thinking positive thoughts, to notice when we're thinking negative thoughts and try to get ourselves out of that loop and get the positive thinking. You know how hard it is to think positive thoughts when you're not feeling good or you're not feeling positive, right? It really takes an effort of willpower. It really takes, this is a fiery doorway. This is a really big decision, and it ain't easy to do. Anytime you're in a bad mood, somebody comes to try to cheer you up, you don't want it. You watch your favorite Seinfeld episodes, you don't even find it funny. Not even a chuckle, right? Because you're not in that zone, you're not in that mood. It doesn't affect you that way. So it's very hard for you to have positive, encouraging thoughts when you're feeling not good and not hopeful and not encouraged. Okay? It's a big decision. It's really something we kind of force ourselves to do. It's like a period of spiritual dryness. You're not feeling that spiritual love, that spiritual energy, but you keep doing the work anyway, knowing that the water will be there. It will come flooding in when the time is right. Okay? But this is your general energy. I think you're ready for something to change. You're ready to get out of this loop. Okay? And it might be just, it sounds very simple. It's just, you just start thinking positive thoughts. It's not that easy. Right? It is not that easy because we have to, we have to continue with the positive thinking, but we have to allow it to then transform the environment, transform our feelings, and we have to do something about it. We can't just sit on our hands and just think, I'm rich, I'm rich, I'm rich, I'm rich, I'm rich. We're not going to get rich, right? We have to then allow it to move the earth energy, move the water energy. Okay? Thinking by itself is not going to do it. Okay? But visualization will. That's part of this card too. Immersing ourselves in the future that we want to achieve. Right? Not only with the thinking, with the feeling, right? And with the senses. Close your eyes and imagine the life that you want to be living. Right? What does it taste like? What does it smell like? What does the ground beneath your feet feel like? Can you feel the wind on your face, right? We really have to. What does it feel like inside? What does it look like? Right? A full, immersive, imaginative visualization. We say visualization, but it's not just the visual, right? It's all of it, all the senses. Okay. In the environment right now, Lover's card. We could be talking about something involving a partnership of some kind. Just because it's the Lovers doesn't mean that it's romantic, right? It could be platonic love, romantic love, divine love, self-love. It could be that we've lost some love for ourselves. It could be indicative of a spiritual dryness, that we feel like we've lost the love of God, Goddess, deity, guardian angel, spirit guides, right? Universal mind, universal soul, whatever you want to call it. Okay, we're having doubts about this intimate relationship that you've got, either with yourself or with anything else. Maybe this is a romantic partner. Maybe it's a spouse, right? Okay. Your spirit showed me this, a golden locket that you have. I think it's a locket, or maybe, I don't know. It's kind of circular, but it's something gold on a chain around your neck, right? And I wonder if maybe this is either a religious thing, or it's something that this person gave you, or it has something to do with this. It's either a picture of them, or it's a religious thing, or it's. I wonder if this is. I wonder if you've lost somebody recently, because I feel like something that you wear around your neck is related to this person, and I feel like when you kind of become aware of it or you touch it, it kind of like, it reminds you of this person. And it could be, again, it could be a religious or a spiritual symbol or a talisman of some kind, right? An amulet. But it's connected with this energy in some way. So I'm wondering if maybe you have lost somebody recently, okay? And if you, I'm terribly sorry if you have. They have, I don't like to say the word, I say that lost, you've lost somebody. I don't think they're lost, right? They're not missing somewhere. They're not stumbling around in the dark trying to find where they're going. They are okay. They have transitioned into spirit. They are happy. They are in bliss, okay? And I feel the message really with that thing, for those of you, it's probably not all of you are touching that thing now, but they want you to feel happy, okay? They are okay. They want you to be okay. Let's see what the obstacle to some of this is. The Eight of Wands. The Eight of Wands is, well, it's Mercury energy again, okay? We've got interesting Mercury energies here. This is, it's kind of a scattered mind in a way, right? It's Mercury in Sagittarius. It is kind of it's the compass rose. It's, in some ways, this is the anxiety, right? This is sort of your feeling of knowing that something needs to be done, but I don't know what to do, right? It's kind of, we've got the jazz hands, you know, we're tap dancing on the shag carpet. There are impulses in us, but we don't know how to do something with them. We don't know where to put them. We don't know what actions to take. It could be that you've been trying to get yourself going. You get up, you do a couple of things, but then you just kind of take those 2 steps back to your chair. And then you'll take a couple steps in that direction, then a couple steps back to center again. So we're going out and coming in, going out and coming in, because we just can't figure out what, it doesn't feel right. Any action we try to take, any path we try to get on, it doesn't really seem like the one, you know. And it's, to me, it feels like there's a loss of interest. It's kind of, you know, I always relate this card to me when I'm trying to think of something to read at night, you know. I got about an hour or so in the evenings where I can read, and like books and stuff, you know. And sometimes I'll pick up one book, I'll read a page or two. No, that's not the vibe. I'll pick up something else, no, that's not it either. Before I know it, my whole hour is gone. It's time to go to bed. But sometimes there are those occasions where everything I read, it just feels like I've lost interest, and I don't know why. It's just I'm not feeling that sort of passion or desire to read like I used to, you know. And I don't mean to simplify this for you and kind of compare, you know, it's apples and oranges here. But I feel that's kind of where you're at, where you want to do something, but it's kind of like anything you try, it doesn't taste good. You're hungry, but everything you might have a little sample, I don't like it. It doesn't feel good. It doesn't taste good, right? And so that is a very difficult thing. What's the next card here? More Mercury energy, the 6. Now, a 6 of Swords is very nice because this is a beautiful mind, right? This is the beauty and harmony of the thinking apparatus. This is now all of your thoughts kind of being geared toward a particular outcome. This really is that idea of visualization, right? Constructing the mental reality. It's an astral kind of thing. It has to involve your other senses. So you close your eyes, you imagine you're somewhere. You're at the beach, right? Can you hear the ocean? You feel the sea spray? Can you feel the sand under your feet? And, you know, it's that kind of thing. It has to be immersive, right? But this is us really getting a handle on the thoughts. This is the perfect kind of outcome here. And this is a card called Science. This is a card with a plan. This is you understanding the divine plan, you know. And so we kind of started with the thinking, and you're fixed. The repetitive nature of this kind of thought energy for you. And now we kind of end with the same thing, only this now is, I think, really intentional, and it's really geared toward your health and well-being and the outcome that you are really striving for. So this is a great outcome here. The beauty and harmony of the mind. Yeah. It's really a huge improvement from what we had over here. Right? Especially just from the 5 now, from the kind of agitated, kind of self-criticizing mind to now a really beautiful, harmonious mind. There's a peacefulness here. There's a calm, right? Calm, peace, be calm, and calm will come. So, very nice. I'd like to look at the mystery card. But first, let's do an empowerment oracle card. They're kind of stick together. We've got Embrace Divinity. I am a loved child of divinity. Reality is a love story written for me. I sit silently and experience the loving embrace from my eternal mother. I store up the words of affirmation of my ageless father, the tender words that spoke my consciousness into existence become me. Well, maybe that's the mantra we should take. Let's memorize this and let's say this as often as we can to ourselves, especially in these moments of despair or self-doubt or sorrow or pessimism, you know. I think this is good. This is good. Let's take a look at the mystery card, okay? I feel an emotional energy coming upon me when I slide this card over. I wonder if it's going to be some more water energy. Maybe a 5 of cups. See, we had the 5 of pentacles to show that there's progress. Or even the 5 of swords is showing at least there's movement in the mind. So maybe it's us getting out of some of this fixed thinking. So maybe we need the 5 of cups to show that, hey, there's at least some movement in the water energy, that we're not stuck in this hopelessness or this despair. Maybe the 5 of cups will say that, yeah, I still feel some of that sorrow and despair, but now I feel a little bit of anger too. I feel a little bit of frustration. Maybe I feel a little bit of laughter coming on. Maybe the Seinfeld episode I get a little chuckle in there now and again, you know? So maybe there's some different things happening, that we're breaking up the ice chunks, you know? We're breaking up that solid, fixed energy that we've got with the 8s. So, I don't know if it's going to be the 5, but I'd like some active water energy. Yeah. An ace, 3, 5, 7, 9 of cups. Let's see. Yeah. We'll do one somber bell for the 5 of cups. At least there is movement. At least we're seeing the truth about how we feel, and we also know that there are 2 cups behind us. So we are despair and sorrow and lamentation, but behind us there is still all this love. And what we have to do is we have to turn and look and see it. Okay, the 2 of cups is behind you. It's where you're not looking. You're focused on the 3 of cups that have spilled. The abundance that you had in your life that is not there anymore, right? Those cups have drained. Either they got knocked out of your hand or you dropped them or whatever, right? And they're gone. And that's so rough. That's hard, you know? But there's a lot of love still there. And of course, our empowerment oracle card is all about love. So I think this card's really saying that you might be in a very challenging emotional time right now. But there is a lot of support, a lot of love in your life. Okay? And things are going to get so much better. We've got to embrace divinity, embrace love. Okay? These are beautiful cards. So I think this is, I apologize for how emotional this is, but it's very hopeful to me. I feel very optimistic about this. And I feel the sooner we recognize what's going on and we accept this energy and we start to move the thinking, we start to move the water, we start to move the body, and we can create the life that we want. Okay, we can restore things to a more perfect state. Okay, we're going to do an extended reading too, Capricorn. If you want to stick around, there's a link up top. There's one down below. New readings for Capricorn are on Thursdays, bonus readings on Sundays. Be sure to watch both. If you haven't subscribed yet, please do it. It's totally free, does not cost anything. And leave a comment. Let me know how you're doing. Let me know where in the world you're watching from. I want you to know that you're the most important part of Dove and Serpent Tarot. I thank you and I love you. And we're all in this together.